All right. Hi, everybody. I am Maile O'Rourke and here with Corbin Olson, one of my favorite lenders. We have been getting a lot of questions from people during all of the craziness that's been happening with the economy and coronavirus lately, and wanted to just take a few minutes to answer those questions and help everybody know what's going on. So I'm going to ask Corbin some questions for current homeowners as far as how everything will impact mortgage payments, about refinancing, and for current buyers and sellers in the housing market, how everything will be impacting them. So Corbin, thank you so much for taking time to help us out here. And let's start off with that probably most pressing question that a lot of people are wondering. What if I'm worried about paying my mortgage due to coronavirus? What would you say?
I would say the number one thing you can do if you're worried about paying your mortgage is call your servicer. Every lender is maybe going to have a little bit different rules or how they're going to handle it, but please make sure you call them before you end up missing a payment. You definitely don't want it to affect your credit. And there's lots of forbearance programs that won't affect your credit, but it entails calling your servicer. The number two thing I would say in regards to that is, if you can make your mortgage payment, to please make your mortgage payment if you can. There's a lot of people looking for help, maybe that don't quite need it yet. And if you can, make your mortgage payment if you can, because it's going to affect everybody in general in the real estate market if everyone tries to go into a forbearance program. It makes owning or investing in mortgages very not very appetizing, and it could affect all of us in the future. So if you can make your mortgage payment, of course, pay it. But if you can't, of course, call your servicer and they'll work something out with you.
Thank you. And what about refinances? There's been so much talk about refinances. They were up and they were down. Do them, don't do them. What would you tell us about refinancing right now?
So I would say it's still a fantastic time to refinance. Yes, there's been a crazy amount of volatility in interest rates, just like you've seen in the stock market. We've seen the same, if not worse, when it comes to interest rates. And we've seen rates as low as 3% on a 30-year fix, and as high as like 4.5% in a very short amount of time. The good news is the Fed has this is now into quantitative easing infinity, which means they have an unlimited amount of money they can spend to buy mortgage-backed securities to push rates where they want them to. And since that has been in place now for about a week, rates are back down in the low threes. The problem is right now is you have a very limited time frame in which you can lock in those loans. When I say limited time frame, meaning that like sometimes in the morning, the rates are very good. You can lock in a 3.25, but by afternoon, even though the mortgage bond market has even done better, rates should improve. But the problem is lenders have then artificially increased the rates to where you can no longer lock in that rate. So the windows of time to lock in are very small. So get all your stuff into your lender, your pay stubs, your W-2s, let them pull your credit, get your loan ready to be locked in, and then just be patient and wait. And it may take a few days, sometimes even a few weeks before you can get that rate that you're looking for, but you should be able to get it. And then just, of course, expect a little bit longer turn times, because whether it's title, whether it's your appraiser, whether it's underwriting, everyone's backed up in this high demand time. But so expect probably 45 days to get a refinance closed. And other than that, it's still a great time to refinance. I would highly suggest looking into it.
So depending on what your current interest rate is, it could save you easily a couple $100s a month to refinance for a better rate. Is that right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, everyone's going to save a little bit different amounts of money depending on what your current rate is, whether you have mortgage insurance and we can remove it. But ultimately, you want to look at your break-even point. And that break-even point is calculated by looking at, hey, how much is this refinance costing me, divided by how much am I saving, which will give you your break-even point. You just want to make sure, generally, you want to recoup your cost in about 3 years or less, if possible. But yeah, some refinance I'm doing, you're saving as much as $500 a month. Some it's $200 a month. But yeah, it just depends on your situation and loan amount and all that good stuff.
Awesome. And that's something you can help with, right? Like I think you helped me calculate it would be like a year and a half would be my break-even point.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. And then what about our current people buying and selling? I've had a lot of clients or potential clients asking, is this a good time to sell? Should I sell before things change? Or is this a good time to buy? How is my current purchase going to be impacted with all the craziness? What advice would you tell people that are currently buying and selling?
So as far as I think the only thing that's really probably changed is the time frames. I still think it's a great time to buy or to sell. Good news for buyers. There's a lot less people that are maybe looking right now. A few people have decided to sit on the sidelines, and so a lot of clients that are maybe been frustrated by the past couple months of trying to get a home under contract just haven't been able to. Well, now is a great time because there's a few less people looking, and so you have less competition. As far as the mortgage is concerned, I mean, yeah, you're going to expect a little bit longer time frames to close your loan. Probably something like 30 to 45 days is what you're looking at right now. And so obviously that applies to sellers as well. So if you're looking to sell your home and that person goes under contract, it's not going to be totally uncommon if they're asking for 30 to 45 days to get that loan closed. Whereas before, some aggressive offers may have, asked for a 2-week or 21-day closing. Those timeframes are just not relevant anymore, not possible because of appraisers and underwriting and title. Everyone's just backed up. So expect a little bit longer times to close, but other than that, everything is, for the most part, business as usual.
Cool. Thank you. I think that's a lot of good info. Anything else that you think would be helpful to share?
Yes. I'm still here. Sorry, it froze a little bit.
Oh, anything else that you think you want to share?
I think that maybe the number one thing I could share, just be patient. I think that everything's just taking a little bit longer for all of us to do things. Things like getting employment verifications when HR companies or the HR department is all working from home. There's just a lot of delays when it comes to just about everything, and just be patient as you go through the process. Things are just taking a little bit longer. But other than that, I think it's business as usual. And I think the real estate market is still doing very well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet.
I think that's a good start for today. And if we get some more questions, then we'll talk again shortly and keep sharing the info.
Sounds great. Thanks, Miley.
Corbin.